Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bonafide. This episode is brought to you by Batik, the hip and trendy place for you to get your batik apparels. Be sure to check their website out at www.batique.sg and their socials at batik_sg, Facebook and Instagram. Ladies and gentlemen, I am truly honored to be in the presence of our guest today. Once upon a time in 2015, I believe, I was among the spectators and mesmerized when she crossed the line after the 200-meter event.
Oh, you were there.
I was there.
Okay.
She is a national sporting hero, one of the shining stars of Singapore's athletics. Having represented the nation several SEA Games, she has amassed multiple SEA Games medals. Most notably, the one I spoke about earlier, her 200-meter gold medal, which she clinched in the 2015 SEA Games. Ladies and gentlemen, Singapore's very own sprint queen, Shanti Pereira.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Nice having you here.
Thank you.
You are a very joyful presence today. Anyway, now that very uncertain times, right? How has your training regime been different since the CB?
So during CB was super difficult because I had to still find different ways to train. So whether it's in my house or around my house, because at that point we couldn't even go outside. I think we couldn't even go to parks or something.
It's almost a lockdown. Yeah.
So I had to do it. Thankfully, I live in a condo where there's places to run downstairs.
Right.
So I just made use of that. But it was so difficult because I couldn't see my teammates on my court, so it was a bit hard.
Okay.
But then once phase 2 started, they opened the stadiums and so since then it's been quite normal already.
But it's still different.
Pretty much going back to normal.
No.
Different because there's no competitions yet. There's no confirmation of competitions. Local ones also no.
So even the secondary school ones, which usually take part during that period, like B division.
Yeah. That's
all cancelled.
Yeah, so in the start of the year it was all cancelled.
Okay.
It usually happens around April-ish.
Yeah.
Then
that
it
period,
got
right?
cancelled. Yeah, everything just got cancelled.
Even the local ones for
the local
adults.
ones. Yeah,
regional, obviously.
Regional, I mean, it's still going on, I think. Now there may be stuff going on, but we just can't go because of the travel restrictions.
Oh, there are already?
I think so, if I'm not wrong.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think all the countries are trying to do stuff locally, so no one can come in.
I see. So
yeah,
it'll be a
for the
domestic
local
competition
athletes.
for...
Yeah. If there were to be anything, which I think there is, it's just for local athletes.
How's the future like for competitions? I understand next year will be supposedly SEA Games, right?
Yes, so SEA Games is end of the year next year, but then because of everything got postponed to next year, so there's a lot of things happening next year, but then it's still subject to whether we can even go.
So they are replanning it to be next year.
So Olympics was shifted to next year, to 2021.
Which will be end of the year also?
No, it will be in
summer.
July. Yeah, summer.
Oh, okay.
July, August. And then there is a whole bunch of other things
how
university competitions and stuff.
Oh, like AUG.
AUG, WUG.
So they are all planning it throughout for the 2021.
Yeah.
And everything is still subject to...
Yeah, it's still subject.
The border
who knows
controls.
if, exactly, we can even go.
Man. So right now, y'all are just keeping the... your bodies and your physical aspect to hit the bare minimum.
Sort of. We're just taking it as it comes, I guess. So so before we knew whether there's any competitions coming up, so then we will just train and make sure, like what you said, our bodies are fit. Make sure we're fit basically. And then once we have the knowledge that we can compete, then change the plan. So it's a lot of
But is there a temptation right now for y'all to be dropping below that benchmark?
Definitely.
Because it's so inactive, right? There's no goals, there's no nothing. It's so inactive.
Definitely, but
and whatever the future holds is so bleak. It's so uncertain,
bleak.
right?
You don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So definitely very easy to lose that kind of motivation. But I don't know. Just stay.
and any local competitions that I don't know. You any hearsays or anything that will be happening soon? Or
there
anything?
is, but it's kind of like a closed door trial. That's what they're calling it. So they're inviting...
Happening soon?
Happening soon. They're inviting athletes to compete, but no spectators, and you can only be there for a certain amount of time.
Right.
That kind of thing.
But I think that's the good thing about so-called individual sports, right?
I guess.
You don't need
There's not much restrictions, I would say.
So now you're already training with your coach?
Yeah.
Able to?
Yeah, can.
But they are still controlling the total numbers at the...
Yeah, so the stadium has like the 50 packs,
At Kallang,
I think.
is it?
At Kallang, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Just
Anyway,
restricting the amount.
I want to take you back to the early years of Shanti, right? So really the early years, even to the point like primary school years, right?
Okay.
How you discover this, and how was the talent discovered? Was it accidental or was it groomed?
Accidental.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my sister was a national athlete as well. So when I was younger, I would go to the stadium and see her run, see her compete, and then I kind of loved what she was doing because I thought it was quite cool. And then when I was in primary 3, so I was 9 years old. Then because primary 3 onwards you can compete in sports day, like at the stadium. Primary 2 is just the fun games in school. So I wanted to compete in like the 100 meters and
at primary 3.
At primary 3, yeah. So I just asked the teacher, I was like, okay, can I compete in this? And then they said like, yeah.
So was there an event already for primary 3?
Yeah. So I ran 100 meters and then I didn't really know whether I was good yet. I just wanted to run because it looked fun and I really wanted to do it, see whether I was good at it.
Yeah.
And then I ran, and then the track and field coach was there and he asked me to join the team.
At primary 3?
At primary 3. So by right CCA starts primary 4 onwards, but then he just took me in. So I competed.
So at primary 3 you were already joining... Wow, I joined a CCA I think at primary 4 or primary 5.
Yeah, so I think by right it starts at primary 4.
Yeah.
But myself and this other girl were called by the coach to join earlier. So we just joined.
So this whole thing was an early intervention?
I would say so.
And then after that, from primary school, you were already...
Yeah, then I guess because I just competed like for fun because I realized that I was good at it.
Yeah.
And then I just continued all the way until primary 6. I mean, I did face like setbacks along the way, like even in primary school.
Yeah.
Because like...
Wow.
Like, oh, I'm so good at this. Like, the jock kind of feeling. Like, you're so good. And then...
Oh, you had that feeling?
Yeah, then you don't train properly, that kind of thing. Then the next year...
The complacency,
yeah, then the next year, I lost everything. I
really?
got like 6th and 7th place, whereas in primary 3...
In school?
In the like national schools competition.
Okay.
Where in primary 3, I was younger than the rest of them. Like, I was primary 3 and the rest of the competitors were primary 4.
Okay.
But I won. And
so at that point of time when you were primary 3, you were already joining the nationals?
Yeah, I already joined.
Okay.
And then I was just younger than everyone.
Wow.
And
you won?
And then I won. And then in primary 4, when I was the same age as everyone, I lost. So I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
really. I really kena the papaya feeling.
And then?
But then I somehow or rather, I wanted to change sport actually. I wanted to be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to play like netball. But then, my family like convinced me to stay. And then,
so, at what age did you so-called enter the Singapore national setup?
National team, I would say, because there's like youth and junior, but official national team maybe when I was like 17. Because that was my very first SEA Games that I represented.
You are an alumni of the sports school, right? So that's so-called they take the cream of the crop from the primary school. So they... Like the staff from sports school came down to like the competition to try to see who they want. By this time you're already back.
Yeah, I'm back, and then I'm okay. And then they came down. Then in primary 6, I won the 100. So then they picked me to be part of the
Was there like further trials needed or?
I didn't have to do that.
Oh, that was your entrance,
Yeah, that was my entrance.
Oh,
then they offered like a scholarship to join and everything.
Yeah. Oh, it was a scholarship.
Yeah, so they. I don't know if they still do it now, but back then they offered me a scholarship to join.
Okay. So that whole at primary school from primary 3 to primary 6, it was already ingrained in you to be training and schooling.
It's just kind of like natural, I guess. Because I mean, in primary school, you don't really think much about these kind of things. It's just like you go to school and then you have a CCA, right? It's just natural, I guess. And then I don't know. I just loved what I was doing. So then when the opportunity came to go to sports school, I was like, oh, sure.
But you took it, I mean, you were quite a hype. I would say you were winning national medals at that age, right? Was there like, I don't know, because you were so young.
Yeah.
Were there like any other things that you did not do as a kid, I mean, you were running, you were schooling, and I believe these two consume quite a bit, right? Because you're quite driven.
So you mean like in primary school, is it? Or
I mean, like I really don't know what 10, 11-year-olds do, but
yeah. I mean, I would say primary school didn't really make much of a difference because I was doing pretty much what every other primary school kid was doing.
Yeah.
But maybe in secondary school, yeah, because the experience I had in sports school is a lot different than normal secondary schools.
Right.
Because like, the structure is just a bit different where we focus a lot on the sports more than usual schools would.
Right.
And we would stay in boarding school and that kind of thing.
Boarding would mean it's like a hostel for you all to stay,
Yeah, hostel
right?
for us. Then
Right.
yeah, so it was just very different, I guess. So
Right.
not that I wouldn't say I missed out on anything, but it's just a different experience. Yeah.
From what you could have gotten
From what I
if
would have
you were
gotten,
not running,
yeah.
right?
Or yeah, if I didn't join the school.
Sports school.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Because I think I still would have ran. It's just in a different
school.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are an alumni of sports school. So it has kind of produced quite a number of like household names, like Irfan Fandi,
Yeah.
Swaila, Silat,
yeah.
right? And then Kelvin Kang,
Yeah.
all this, yourself. So how was it? How was life like at the school? Like, you were saying that you would have been leading a life which was probably different from anybody else who are not from sports school.
Yeah.
Right? How was life like at sports school?
I mean, it's very, like I said, very sports driven. So
Walk me through a day of
a
sports
day.
school.
Okay, so we would okay, so usually we would train in the morning.
Alright.
That's whether or not the coach wants us to train
sorry,
in the
you all
morning.
must go back to your hostel by
Okay, yeah, so we
Sunday.
check in. We call it check in.
Yeah.
Check in on Sunday night.
Oh,
And then we go back home. We check out on Friday afternoon.
That
Friday
sounds like
evening.
national service.
Yeah, everyone tells you that. It
Oh my
sounds
god,
like
yeah.
NS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and then every day we would we would train in the morning if
Alright.
there's training.
Yeah.
If not, we will go for breakfast and then
How morning is morning?
if we train,
Yeah.
then 6:15 a.m.
Wow, you all
If we
start.
don't train, then we have to like morning assembly starts around like 8.
You train
30.
before your assembly.
Yeah, we train before
Wow.
school starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like self-training, or is it a
No,
mandatory-
with the
a
coach.
team training?
Yeah, so it depends. Like if the coach wants us to come down for morning training, then everyone would come down lah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then after that, school.
Then school until like different days, different time, like normal schools lah.
But the school period will be undisturbed lah.
Yeah,
whole
undisturbed.
period.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just school all the way until like 2-ish.
So afternoon?
And then afternoon
Training.
If we have like extra classes or
Yeah.
stuff like that, then we would go for that
Yeah.
before training. If not, we can go back to our hostel and like take a nap or study or something.
Okay.
And then train from like 4 to 6-ish.
God, okay.
And then
Sounds so stressful, yeah.
6-ish, and then go for dinner. And then at night, we have this thing called supervised study time,
Okay.
where like they split us up into different parts of the school, and then there's a sub like walking around,
Right.
making sure we
How
study.
about? I mean, you all I follow football a lot, especially in the UK, right? So they have like double training sessions.
Yeah.
Morning, afternoon, or morning, evening. So now that you all are already some sort, almost kind of like professional kind of timetable, right? How about the diet? Do they take care also?
In sports school,
Yeah.
I would say yeah, because like normal schools
Yeah.
would be like you go to a shop, you buy what you want, right?
Right.
But then in sports school, like it's everyone eats the same food, and like
Okay.
there's a nutritionist that they bring on board to make sure the food is like healthy for us.
Is it catered to different sports?
No. No.
No.
Everybody eats the same food.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
But
it's
then like if you want more portion, then you just ask that
okay,
kind of thing.
but it's relatively the healthier food lah.
yeah,
if
it's
you
healthier.
compare
Definitely healthier compared to
to like tuck shop or
yeah,
canteen kind.
yeah. Definitely a lot healthier. And they also provide like, because I mean ultimately for sports people, yes, you need healthy, but you need to have like enough energy to train
Right.
and maintain like throughout the day, right?
Yes.
So there's everything lah. So there's the normal food, there's like appetizer salad, there's fruits,
all
there's
this.
drinks, there's a lot of different kind of thing.
Also, all these are so-called meticulously planned to ensure that you all don't run out of energy for the whole
correct.
day.
Yeah, so there's the actual meals, and then it's provide us with like snacks also. So
Yeah.
in between classes, there will be a thing called like, I forgot what it's called, snack break. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, then it's like in between classes for 20 minutes, they will push a cart of like biscuits to
I
the
see.
center of like the school, and then
Right.
everyone will just go there and grab some food
Yep.
and drink. And then after school, so they provide like snacks, like bread, to make sure that we have food before training.
Also, they do really pay a lot of attention.
Yeah,
to
they
the,
really do. Yeah.
How about the? I understand there's like you all are all talented athletes.
Mm-hmm.
What was the attitude towards studying? right. I mean, it's a legit question, right? I mean, it's a good question, right?
Yeah, it is.
So, what's the attitude towards learning?
I don't know. Okay, personally, I paid quite a lot of attention to my studies. Like, I wanted to make sure I was good at both lah, instead of...
That was the challenge for you?
Which, I mean, it wasn't that bad because the academic structure over there is quite flexible in a way, or like the teachers kind of know that we have a lot of sporting commitments.
Right.
And so they try to make the best of the situation by giving us like makeup classes, even if it's one-to-one, that kind of thing. So it made it a lot easier to manage lah. Yeah. But yeah, I did try and like focus as much on my studies as my sports lah.
Right. I mean, because for us, people who are not even in sports school, we don't even have to like, you know, go to hostels or boarding. I mean, we are doing like stupid things outside of we already have that kind of distractions.
Actually, yeah, so the structure, like I said, makes it easier because you have that supervised study time, right? So it's like we are forced to like study.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, cause so we have that timetable.
That's where it comes in, where you say that you feel that you have a different kind of like path.
Yeah. It's these small things like having a structured timetable.
So called like
that kind of
drilling discipline into you guys.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
It worked?
I think so.
For yourself, I believe it did, right?
Yeah, it did work for me.
What's the talent pool like back when you? I mean, okay, back when you were in sports school and also in Singapore in general for the sport that you are in, right? What's the talent pool like?
I mean, in sports school, we had quite a lot of people, in the track and field academy itself. Yeah. But now, I think it's quite normal that people would stop training after. And like focus on their career after a certain period of time. Yeah. So like slowly, like I don't know how to say it. Like slowly, people will just start. Correct.
And drop it off here and there.
Yeah.
In Singapore, how good is the? I mean, I won't say how good. How big will the talent be? I mean, it will decrease over time. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah. I mean, the talent. How do I say it? Like the people that started out won't carry out for a super long time.
So how do you maintain the competitiveness if people keep on, or rather the pool keeps on decreasing as... I understand because Singapore is such a competitive society, right? And then after a while, like after NS or what, we might think like, oh, maybe I want to pursue this and that and all. So okay, let's just drop my sports. But the sports, right? The integrity of the sports, or rather, how we maintain? How has the competitiveness within the sport we maintained so far?
That's a hard question.
For yourself, I mean, have you had a lot of lows, like, you know, losing competitions locally?
Definitely, but so I mean throughout, like even in school and after, like in sports school and you know after, like, it's a lot of highs and lows. I mean, like what you say, I lose some competitions or like get injured.
You lost before? Locally?
Locally.
No, right? Come on, just give it to me. Give it, right? Since what age?
Okay, fine. Since like Sec 2, Sec 3.
My God. Okay.
I don't know lah.
Okay, so these losses were regionally, right? Regionally or non-Singapore.
So I mean, as I progress, then obviously the competition gets higher because I start competing overseas and competing with like competing in higher level competitions lah. So obviously the competition will get a lot higher, and I start not being like the top anymore. So but I wouldn't say that's bad. It's a good thing.
Yeah, it
means progress. Like it means that I have new goals to try and achieve. Right. To,
the ceiling just
a
new
keeps,
ceiling, right?
Correct. So I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. So maybe that's one of the ways I managed to maintain that competitiveness, I guess.
I mean, due to the nature of our country's size, going outside of Singapore will be the one that will be so-called pushing the boundaries
for sure.
For whatever remaining athletes that we have,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that worked for you?
Yeah, like being able to travel and compete in a lot of places, like definitely contributed to like the fact that I'm still here.
Yeah. So I'm not done with the secondary school part, right?
Oh, okay.
So when you were secondary school part, it was like the B and C division, right? And then at primary 6, they were taking the cream of the crop already into sports school.
Yeah.
And just like everything else, they are late bloomers, right?
Yeah.
So were there like outside of sports school that were, you know, giving you guys a run for the money at B and C division when you all were competing? Were there talents which were actually as good as the sports school students?
Yeah. Like, okay, I mean, because ultimately, yes, sports school gets, like, they will try and get these people to come into the school, but obviously the students can choose not to and go to different other schools. So yeah, we definitely still had competition, like, in other schools lah. But so I mean, yeah, that's it. Like, that's all I can say. Like, there was still quite high level competition because like there were good athletes in other schools also. Like even until today.
Because I see like certain sports, like the B and C division, right? It's like sports school are like whacking the teams and all, right? So you see that kind of imbalance. But in track and field, at least I'm a 90s kid, so at least during that time I can still I believe sports school just opened or something like that. In like 2002 or 2003, right? So I can see there was still a bit of competition being given by like all these schools good in athletics. Like,
there was.
Like my school, Victoria School,
VS.
SJI, VS, and all this, right?
There was for sure. Like even now, it's still.
Oh, so even now there are other schools. I mean, for athletics, like at least. There are like.
I'm not very very sure, but I'm sure there is lah. That.
Right.
A lot of like talent in other schools also.
You've been this kind of top athlete for how long have you been since Sec 2? Let's say you're full time. You've been running full time since primary 6.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess.
Or rather, your whole life,
right?
Okay, so you're now 24.
I'm 24.
Right? So that's a good 10, 11 years, a decade, right? How is it that you maintain that mental toughness? Let's talk about locally first, or rather at the start. Because when you are local and then you are going overseas, it's different kind of like mental preps and mental. So how you maintain that mental toughness over the last decade?
I think firstly, like, the passion really needs to be there. Like, if you don't love what you're doing, like, you just won't enjoy the process at all. Because I mean, training is hard. Like, it's difficult. Like, sometimes you puke, that kind of stuff.
Right.
But like, if you really love what you do and you have an end goal, then in your mind it'll be like it's worth it. So for me, that's how I managed to get through. Like, I'm always thinking that I want to progress here. I want to.
How it became so sustainable.
So I would always have goals lor. I would want to compete at SEA Games, I want to compete Asia Games, I want to compete here, compete here, and not just compete there but actually do well there. And I knew that if I end up there, this entire journey would be worth it lah.
So that was what so-called
drove
build up that whole, because I mean physical, yes, I mean there are people with a lot of physical prowess, you know, they can run, but what they're lacking is that edge, that mental thing, right?
So that part really is neglected, I would say, but it's as important as the physical part. I think it's the way that you can sustain.
How about when you go to like okay, in Singapore, like you mentioned earlier, you didn't lose much, right? But when you go to like regional, international, it's a whole different ball game, right?
Yeah, it is.
So you don't feel that kind of invincibility, right? You feel that you may even be the
last few
underdog, right? So no lah, not last few lah. So
before your first time, you would think that, right? I thought that.
So, at that point of time, like these kind of competitions, what kind of mental strength was needed to ensure, you know, you don't.
Okay, I think
like
different people different. Yeah, for sure.
For yourself.
Yeah, for me, like, when I started going like overseas, like to higher level competitions, like I went for like Asian Junior Championships, that kind of thing. Then I would be super nervous. I'll be so scared because like I don't know how I'm gonna do among like in comparison to all these people from like China and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I would, I guess, kind of blank out.
Zone it out.
I zone it out because I focus on the fact that I don't really have anything to lose. You know, I'm at that time it was like my first my first time here. I don't know, I may be good enough to be compared to them, I may not, I don't know, but I'm just gonna whack and see how I do. Yeah, that's how I tackled it.
That's the junior part, right?
That's junior. When then later on, when I realized like, hey, okay, like I'm
damn good. Right, kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm actually like among the top few in
the top.
Yeah. Then it's a it's a complete shift lah in mindset because it's no longer I have nothing to lose. It's like I want to be able to maintain this for as long as I can. So I mean it was tough lah. Like I did face a lot of pressure from that because everyone would think that I should be at this level like all the time lah. But then in reality, I'm obviously can't do that. Like I would face highs and lows. I would get injured, all these kind of things. But I think that kind of environment created like the tenacity in me that I really want to be able to maintain this. I want to stay here, if not better myself to beat all of you people, that kind of thing.
I mean, at the prior to that SEA Games 2015, right? I think the previous or rather the reign for the title given for Sprint Queen was, I believe she was my PE teacher last time. Madam Barnabas, is it?
Gloria Barnabas,
right? She was a Sprint Queen, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
She was she was the one that won the gold medal 42 years before me.
42 years before you. Okay. So coming into every SEA Game, don't say the one that you won the gold, right? That kind of pressure. Well, I mean, because you are so-called the person running that race, and 100 meter, 200 meter, that's the sexy race. Everybody wants to see it, right? So and people are riding on like, although it's not really like the pressure is there, right? It's not so publicized, but it's there. Does it affect the mental game for you?
It could, but okay, so for my first one, it was in 2013 It wasn't in Singapore, it was in Myanmar. Then that was my first one. So again, I had the mentality like yay, I managed to come here and like nothing to lose, that kind of thing. And then I ended up doing pretty well. Like for my first games, I came in 4th for all my events. Everyone was like, oh my god, you missed the medal. I'm like, it's really okay because
you were 17?
I was 17.
Wow.
Yeah, so like it's really fine because I didn't even think I could make it into like that top few, you know. So then coming into 2015, like I think it wasn't that. I mean, there was pressure, but it was more like a positive kind of pressure because everyone because it was in Singapore, so everyone was just excited to see Singaporeans compete. Like whether or not they do well, they didn't really matter.
Really?
Like that's what I felt lah. Or like maybe that's what I chose to think. I don't know. And then so.
But there's a good way of thinking.
It was it was a lot of positive energy coming out from like the audience that day when I ran.
But prior to it, you didn't feel overwhelmed.
I did. I mean, I did for sure because it's like, oh my gosh, like everyone's here and I really, really want to do well. But then it's really just trying to change my mindset to realize that like it's the fact that everyone's here to see is great. And
so it's kind of a mix.
I don't need to be pressured to do well. It's just because everyone's just happy to see Singaporeans run.
So you were channeling that whole thing to a more positive way.
Yeah. And also like, it changed also once I stepped into the stadium. Like not even for the finals, for the heats. And then everyone was just like excited and happy to
everyone.
See.
Myself
like,
included.
Like even the 100 meters, because it was before the 200. Like, the 100 meter heats, everyone was just like excited. And then the finals, like, everyone was like, oh my god, like Singaporean in the finals, woohoo, that kind of thing. So it made it a lot easier to handle.
Do you have a lot of self-doubts?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, who wouldn't lah? It comes in a form of like, don't know whether I'm gonna do the timing I want. Or
your PB and all.
Because I mean, ultimately I think that's the main goal is to PB, right? Rather than medal. I mean, obviously that's like.
Oh really? I mean,
for Yeah, I would say so because for me lah, it's timing first and then medal. But then obviously with the medal, it's like a bonus lah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, there's always that doubt that like whether I'll be able to do it. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely.
But
have
you've never
my
had
self-doubts.
so-called your mental health was okay throughout the past decade.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say
There has been nothing that
there was like we can be open about it lah. Singapore athletics got a lot of news.
Yeah.
Right. Bad press.
Right.
A lot of things a lot of the things that were going on went down to the athletes. Like not just me, like a lot of other athletes also. So I was a bit overwhelmed with that. And it may have translated into my track also, but that's like way later, a few years ago only, that kind. And there's also like I said, like the transition from like having nothing to lose to being one of the top few, like that put a lot of pressure on me.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was just very, very overwhelmed for quite a while, like maybe 1 or 2 years.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, to like.
Was it affecting your timing and all?
It was my timings were okay lah. It wasn't like bad or anything. It was just affecting how I was training and like my mentality going into training.
The mood and everything.
Yeah, everything. It's just like it wasn't like a relaxed nature where I'm just like happy to train. It's just like, my god, I need to do well today. It's not like, and then if I don't do well, I'll be so upset over it. Yeah, but I shouldn't be lah. I should just like everyone has their bad days, right?
Right.
But yeah, at that point, like it's so difficult. Yeah, it was very difficult to overcome, and injuries also lah played a huge part.
Yeah,
because
speaking about the physical aspect of your health, right? Did you suffer a lot of injuries?
I suffered. Okay, I did suffer like a few like minor ones that didn't really like very fast can recover lah. But the biggest one was in 2018. So it was like even worse for me because like I was battling all of this like pressure to
that 1-2
do
years
well.
period.
Yeah, to do well. And then after 2015, like that's when a lot of pressure started lah, because I wanted to be able to retain the gold medal, right?
Right.
And then in 2017, I didn't manage to do that at the SEA Games.
Yeah.
And then so it was like those 2 years that really kind of affected me. I was just like, oh my god, like there's so much pressure. And then I didn't manage to do it, so I was like, oh my god, like even worse. And then after that games, I tried to change my mindset again to like just enjoy what I'm doing. And I did. So I actually did pretty okay until 2018 came.
Injured?
The first race I competed in, I got injured.
Of 2018?
Yeah.
Was it a lengthy spell?
It was like, how long did it take? I don't know, maybe 4 months or something.
Will it be like a restart kind of process?
It was, yeah. So because it was a hamstring pull.
Oh, wow.
And it was a grade 2. So grade 1s are usually like strained, so quite can recover in maybe a few weeks. But grade 2 is like
tear. No,
it's not a tear, but it's longer process
months
to recover lah. Yeah, so I could only start jogging maybe 3 weeks later.
Then the whole process
and then I have to do it again because I lost out on 3 weeks of training, which takes a huge toll. And then I had to just restart. And then there was a bit of a rush to it because I was competing at the Asian Games that year.
Okay, how did you perform there?
I didn't do well. So there was a rush lah, and then my coach and I, we tried to rehab it properly, but at the same time, like I had to try and make sure that I'm prepared for the games. Get up to speed lah. So then I was training, like I was back to normal sort of, and then I injured it again.
Oh, yeah. Within the same year?
Within the same year. So after like a month and a half or 2 months, then I did like a sprint in training, and then I injured it again.
Was this before or after the Asian Games?
Before. So it was that point that I knew I was like,
but you still participated?
I still participated because I could still go as part of the relay team.
Oh, okay.
Because I could still my timing was still among the top lah, so I could still compete.
Right.
But yeah, then it just totally ruined my chances. Like my aim for that was to get in the finals of my 200 meters, but I didn't even qualify for the finals. 200
meters is your pet event? 100?
Both are my pet.
Preferred one?
I prefer 200.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just because like the curve is quite fun. Like coming out of the curve lah.
Anyway, I want to take you to that day on 2015 SEA Games, right? Walk me through the day. Like, how was it from however you started your day until you crossed that finishing line? How was it?
Okay, so on that day, I was when I had to warm. Okay, let me restart. It was an early start because I had my heats in the morning.
Way before that, at that morning, were you super nervous? Were you able to sleep?
Yes, I was.
Oh,
the day before,
right.
I won the medal for the 100 meters. I got a bronze.
Right.
And I was like damn happy already because I didn't know I could do that. And like, that is actually the first medal, not gold medal.
In your SEA Games.
No, first medal in 42 years lah. That a woman in sprints has won a medal since Gloria Badaba's time.
Okay.
So she was the last one. Like,
Alright.
I'm talking about 100 and 200 meters lah.
Right.
That the last time was her.
Yeah.
And then the 100 meters I won the bronze. So everyone was just like, oh my god, like first medal in so long. So I was very, very happy lah. And then that kind of made me extra excited and motivated for the next day because it's like, oh, now it's my favorite event. It's 200 meters. Like, I can't wait. And so I managed to sleep because like I usually can lah. Like, I'm just damn tired and I was just fall asleep one. And then next day I went to the track. I was already like, I was quite in high spirits lah. I was just excited to run.
Positive,
just very positive, like just happy. And then for me, I usually like to, I know a lot of athletes like to listen to music, just stay by themselves for a while. But I don't like, I like to talk to people. So I just like, I was just laughing like with everyone that was there, like the physiotherapists that were there and stuff like that. And then when I was warming up also, I was just like chill, you know, I was just very happy to be there. And then I ran the heats, and then the heats was actually IPB in my heats already.
Alright.
Yeah, I got a personal best there already. So
what was the stadium filled already?
No, it wasn't. It was very empty.
Okay.
It was just a few people there lah. Then I managed to PB in that race. So it means I broke the national record in that race.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like first time lah. So I was just like, oh, like this is great. And like somehow it wasn't like I wasn't putting in all of my effort. You know what I mean? Like
I see.
Because I mean the point of heats is to qualify and then put in all the effort later.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is great. And then I just went back, chill, and then like, oh my god, I was so excited to compete in the finals later because I realized.
So you were raring to go the whole time?
Yeah, the whole time. Like, I just try to keep myself calm, but at the same time, I was just super excited.
Okay.
And then, because I knew what the stadium was going to be like, because 100 meters the day before, it was already quite packed.
Yeah, it was.
So, I think because then people saw that I won the medal, they were excited to see me run the 200 meters.
Right.
Then, so, when I was going to the stadium in the evening, I, again, just positive, high spirits, like talking to everyone. And then,
and then the finals.
And then then I went to the call room, and then I walked out into the stadium where they must walk to the 200 meters, right?
Yeah.
Once I walked out in the area, I was just like, oh, Shanti! I was just like, oh my goodness, like this
Left,
is
right,
great.
everywhere.
Right? More like the stands here lah. Like, you know, when I walk the curve, then
the ending part,
right?
Right.
No, the beginning part. You know the
beginning part. Yeah. Right.
200 meters, the beginning is here. There's people here. So that's because most of them saw me lah. The rest all like very far away.
Yeah.
So already like, go Shanti. Then I was just like, oh my god, I wasn't no pressure. Like, it was like I was just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, wow, this is great. You know, like I've never witnessed experiences before because all my competitions are held overseas. Like, I don't know what this feels like. This is great. And then and then one funny thing, right? Okay, this doesn't really have anything to do with how I felt. It's just something that happened. So before the race, cause you know the 200 meters is like a curve, right? So the starting line is like not at the same line. So then some of us got a bit confused because the starting block is here, and then there's the number block. You know the number block behind us. But it's a bit confusing because it says 4 here, but then the starting block for the next lane is beside it. Okay. So people started getting confused. Okay. Then one of the girls like started setting up her blocks in the wrong lane. Okay. And then nobody told her. So I just looked at her. I was like, hi, you're in the wrong lane. Then she, oh no! Then she went to the proper lane.
Nobody spotted her?
Told her. Nobody spotted. Then I realized, I was like,
was it your lane? Was she like entering your lane?
No. I was in my lane. I was perfectly fine. And then I was like, something seems not right.
Yeah.
Then I just went to her, and then she's like, oh my god, thank you. I was just like, before my finals really, this kind of thing happened. What the heck?
Right. Thoughts go through your mind. Like,
what's going on? And then like,
do you have any like I don't know, weird habits or superstitions or things you do?
okay, so my weird habit is like I have lucky socks lah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think it's weird. I think a lot of people have lucky socks.
So was it washed from the 100 meter to the 200
It
meter?
was washed. No,
Okay.
I have a few pairs.
Oh,
I have a few
okay.
pairs, not just
Okay.
one.
Alright.
So yeah, I think that's the only thing.
Alright.
So yeah, then before that I was just like riled up and ready to go lah.
Yeah.
And like before they sit on your marks, get set, go, like I was really just like blank.
Yeah.
Like nothing was going on in my head. I was just ready to go. Yeah. And then I just went, and then once I think you would know lah, once I come out of the curve,
Yeah.
I think the whole stadium started going
Right.
crazy
Yes.
because
Yes.
they realized I was in the
Yes.
lead, right?
Right.
So then I was just like, oh my god, okay, don't lose the lead, don't lose the lead. And then oh my god. I still cannot
But there
believe
was
it.
this the African Filipino athlete, right?
Yeah.
She was second, is it?
She was second, yeah.
Right. I believe she actually gave you a bit of like a push from the back because she was, I think, to your left, right?
Yeah, so that's another thing. So before the race,
Yeah.
I found out my lane position, and I was very happy because I was inside. It meant that I can see her.
You were 5, you know.
I was in 4,
Okay.
I think, and then she was in 6 or
Okay.
something. But it didn't really matter. Like, I was just happy that I was in 4, and then I could see her in front of me. Because for the 200, I prefer that. Like,
okay.
I prefer if I can see the person
Right.
that I'm like potentially like
Oh,
competing with.
so she's here and you are here, kind of thing.
yeah,
is it?
I'm behind
Okay.
lah. So 200 meters, you start like that ma.
Oh, she
Then
was a hot favorite.
Yeah, because she won the 100 meters a day
I see.
before.
Okay.
So yeah, I was glad I could
So you
see
got
her. Yeah, then
right.
I can just like follow,
No pace
and then
and went,
boom.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
So when it ended, did it hit you? Like,
No,
no.
it didn't hit me.
It
I
was just like finishing a race kind of thing.
Yeah. I just finished the
Okay.
race. I was like, really? Like, serious? You know,
Then
that kind of
slowly
thing.
everything.
And then everything like someone put the flag on me. Then I
Yeah.
was just like, oh my god. Then I realized like I won. Like I can
Yeah,
run
yeah,
and like
yeah,
go
yeah,
to
yeah,
everyone.
yeah.
And then
The
I'm like,
whole-
oh my god, yay!
But was it expected though? Was that the goal for you?
I
like,
would
to
say
get gold?
getting a medal was expected.
All right.
Yeah, but a goal, no, wasn't expected. Like I think everyone, including me, thought that the Filipino girl would win. Yeah lor. So I was expecting to get a medal lah.
Did you break your PB again?
I did. Then I broke my PB.
Twice?
Yeah.
In a
so
day?
in a day I broke twice.
Oh my goodness. So during all these trips, or rather these competitions you have, right? You interact with a lot of these high performing athletes from all these other countries, right? And these countries, let's just be frank, they win medals at a more consistent basis as compared to Singaporeans. Not just in athletics but also in other
Everywhere,
sports,
yeah.
right? But for relevance sake, we speak about the athletics sport, right? How different is it, like their setup, like all this? I am not, no country in particular, as compared to Singapore in terms of their sporting setup.
So I mean Singapore is quite different
Yeah.
because we don't really we don't train full time technically.
Yes. Yeah.
Like we train while doing something else, so like school or work or whatever.
Right.
Because we don't have the resources to train professionally like full time for athletics lah.
Yeah.
Then like other countries, they do that, so the athletes train like full time. They don't do anything else, like, and they are paid for doing that.
Like whatever you did in sports school, but now in the adult life.
Yeah, and they pay you lah. So it's like you're training
I
professionally.
see, okay.
Yeah. So very, very different, like in terms of how you train also, like the small things, like
Yeah.
like for them in between training sessions. So they train regularly, like twice a day.
Yeah.
And in between they can just like chill. But like for us, we have stuff to do. Like
Correct.
we have school, we have
Run to school.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
take
Like
the
okay, finish training
train,
already, faster bathe, go to
Train,
school, or
yeah.
after work come down for training,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So very, very different, I would say.
I think because like all these athletes in Singapore are trying to chase two peaks at one time.
Yeah, correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
So it's even
academics and sports.
Yeah.
So fundamentally it splits us into
Yeah,
two.
correct.
Right.
So we're doing two things full time lor.
Right.
Yeah.
But does that, I mean, that on its own gives the edge for this kind of these athletes from the other countries lah, right?
As in they have the edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the fact
For
that they
sure.
can be professional.
Yeah.
Like they don't have to
definitely.
think about wages.
Yeah, they
and kind
don't.
of thing, right?
Yeah.
And probably they even, like, if they win, they get a house or
Yeah,
this kind of thing,
yeah.
right?
Correct.
Incentives and all. Right. Wow. So it's just but moving forward now, right? Can the cream of the crop of Singapore still give a run of the money for all these athletes with whatever system that we have in place?
I mean, I would say why not lah. You know,
Right.
like because okay, they do have the edge because their resources are and just the way they are living their everyday life is a lot easier than ours.
Right.
But if we change, I mean, if we're just different in terms of mindset, then
Yeah.
why not lah? We can still be on the same level as them.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of athletes, right, in Singapore, they hit their peak like early, maybe like 25, right, 24. But I mean, yourself, you hit quite early.
Early, yeah.
Hopefully, the peak, that's not the peak.
Yeah.
A bit more of the peak, right? So, right now, like we've been talking about it, but not in at length. So, before 25, most of the time, you are either you're doing sports and you're schooling. It's easier to be a student athlete
Yeah, I would
because
say, yeah, for
schools,
sure.
schools can be quite a bit more lenient
Yeah.
to help you achieve. So far, I've seen athletes like yourself,
Yeah.
some of your friends as well, who were in good schools, NTU, SMU,
Yeah.
and still doing your sports and doing SEA Games. But once we finish that whole school, like post school, how difficult you think it is for athletes to maintain a full-time job?
Yeah, I think it's very hard.
Right.
Like you would have to find a place where firstly they're flexible enough to let you train and the hours are not crazy. So
The working hours,
Yeah,
right?
the working hours.
Yeah.
So like I mean it's super like I experienced it like sort of when I was doing my internship
Okay.
where you work like the entire day and it's in audit lah. So
Right.
it was hard because the hours are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And then I would still have to leave to go and train after that, which is super tiring, and then just go to work the next day.
Right.
So yeah, I would say student life like a lot easier because a lot more flexible lah. Like you can schedule your classes when you want.
Correct.
So that you can train at the time that you want.
Right.
And then everything else just follows that timetable.
Fits into the puzzle
Yeah,
and
like you can
everything, right?
just fit everything into a day, like if you're capable of doing that. But then for work, it's like you cannot.
How
do
was
that.
it during your internship and training? Were you like
I mean,
in the
you
middle
don't
of
really-
competition?
I was so I managed to get a good internship structure where they let me have like a no paid leave kind of thing.
Okay.
So I mean it was fine. Like I was really grateful for that. But it's just during the work itself, like you don't really have time for anything else.
Right.
You really just work, train,
It
go
wasn't
home, sleep.
optimum, is it? The training level that
Definitely
you were hitting?
not. Like, cause I mean it was new to me. I was still getting used to it, and I only had a few months to get used to it. So maybe not
Yeah.
long enough. But yeah, like it's hard.
Yeah,
It's difficult
it sounds really hard because you
for
train
that kind of jobs lah. Like those that
corporate jobs.
really
lah.
really work require longer hours than usual.
You usually train twice a day.
That's the goal lah.
Pro-
If the what else I'm doing like permits me to train twice a day.
Ideally, you should be training twice a day, right?
Yeah.
So once you graduate, that should be very hard to attain, right?
It will, yeah. So once I start finding a job and like start working, then it will be difficult. Yeah.
So how do athletes now, like in your athletics setup, right, who are probably your seniors, right? How are they still competing and working?
I mean, first of all, definitely depends on the job, like I said. And then
Like, are they getting jobs within sports council? What is it called? Is it called Sports Council?
Sports Singapore.
Sports
Yeah, so
Singapore
some
and
do.
all.
Like, okay, maybe for athletics, like, yeah, some get jobs in like the sports sector, like whether it's the government body or like in schools
Right.
or as coaches and stuff like that. If not, if it's like corporate jobs, then they would really just find whatever time they can to come down and train.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's if they really want to continue pursuing it lah.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of passion involved in that.
Yeah, it is. And like you can't be driven by monetary success.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So it's really pure like passion, I feel.
But until as you said earlier, then people fall through the cracks lah, right? When when the needs overcome the passion lah, right?
Yeah.
So now, okay, like how athletes internationally, right? They athletes internationally minus Singapore, they get bucket loads of money, right? For be it, I don't know, endorsements, all these sponsorships and all. Is Singapore scene the same?
I mean, there are sponsors that.
Is it able to so-called sustain your so-called monthly wages if you are?
I mean that highly depends on the deal you have with them, I guess. If they are able to accommodate that.
But it's not thick and fast lah, coming.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, so ultimately, like the ideal situation would be for you to get a job lah, so you can have stable monthly income.
It's quite different from other countries lah, right?
Yeah, whereby, very, very different.
Where athletes can live off their sponsorships.
Yeah,
right?
Very different.
Okay. And right now, I want to talk about something that you did recently, which I asked earlier, which is your book.
Oh, my book?
Right.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of it?
I don't.
Oh, man, okay.
I didn't bring a copy.
So I saw you on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. It's called Run Shanti Run.
Go Shanti Go.
Go Shanti Go. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Go Shanti Go, right? And it's honestly, it looks very nicely done.
Thank you.
Right? It's like those kind of like I will see at MPH kind. Is it on MPH? Wait, is MPH still around?
No, there's no MPH.
Right. Yeah. Right. It looks very nicely done, and I have not read it, but I saw you on your Insta story.
Yeah.
Oh no, your IGTV.
Yeah.
You were, I think, your first IGTV. Yeah,
yes.
Right. So you were reading, and there was like illustrations of you running. Was that inspired by the gold medal run, or?
Yeah. So the book. Was.
Tell me more about the book.
Yeah, the book was. Okay, so it's written by my two sisters lah. Yeah, my two sisters wrote it.
Right.
About me, because after the 2015 SEA Games, like I think everyone was just like on a high.
Yeah.
Everyone was so happy about what happened, and then we went to Bali actually, like 3 of us together with my brother, so 4 of us, and then somehow or other we came up with this idea. Like we actually just wanted to find a way to like pin this down, like people need to remember this for a long time.
Right.
And then I don't know, they just somehow came up with the idea of a children's book.
Why a children's book?
Because my sister, like, she felt that my story resonates with a lot of kids. Like a lot of kids look up to me, especially after that gold medal. Like a lot of kids looked up to me. They want to pursue sports. They want to run just like me. And so like if we were to do this, it would cater like the right audience. You know, like kids would really love to see my story and how I ended up like that. So the whole storyline is basically what I told you. Like from primary school, I went through that change where I lost, and then blah blah blah, competed in sports school, and then
so it's not gonna be a one shot story. It's an evolutionary kind of story.
No, I mean the whole book is like just my story lah, from when I was in primary school and how I picked up the sport and how I like basically went through a lot of things, and then I trained really hard and I managed to win the gold medal in the end. So it's a short story. I wouldn't say it's very long, but the main idea of it is just to inspire kids to train hard and really work at what you at your passion and what you want to do.
Is it difficult to write?
So I wasn't the one that wrote it. I just gave the story.
Okay.
So I gave the entire story is like it's true story lah. It's what I went through.
Okay.
And so then my two sisters were the ones that like wrote it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They put it into words.
I see. So that whole the illustration and all drawn by you guys.
No, then we found an external illustrator to help us, and then like we loved it so much. Like it really captures exactly what we wanted.
Right.
Because it's so cute.
Yeah, it is.
It's super cute. I was so happy with it.
I saw, I think, the first few pages that you were flipping, right?
Yeah.
It was, like I said earlier, it belongs at MPH kind of, or borders,
Yeah.
Both are extinct, but no, yeah. So how are you marketing it now?
So
Is
we are
it
selling it through our website. We have a website that's linked in our Instagram. It's our main Instagram page is Go Shanti Go Book.
Yeah.
And then all the details are there. So
Okay.
Go Shanti Go Book, not run.
Yeah, go.
Then yeah, there's information on like the authors, so my two sisters, and then there's me, and then like any kind of information that you want to find out is all in the IG. Yeah, and then we will personally share it also on our.
Have you tested
own
reading it
personal-
to kids?
Yeah, so we did. We went to 2 schools already to read the book, do a live reading,
Right.
and I think they just love it. Especially there's this one page where you say like go Shanti go, because
Yeah.
no, it's like on your marks get set go,
Yeah,
and then everyone's cheering go Shanti go, and then like so one of the schools that we went to is actually my mom's school. My mom runs a school. No, my mom owns a school. She founded the school, but my
Okay.
sister runs it.
Oh, okay.
So she was the one reading the book, and then like the way she did it
These are for preschoolers.
for preschoolers,
Okay.
yeah. And then the way she did it, I think all the kids got super excited about it. Yeah, the response was really great.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
From the kids, yeah.
Nice. So right now, outside of this whole Go Shanti Go
Yeah.
persona that you are, right, what do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun?
What do you do? Because I've only seen you. My mental picture of Shanti is you and the track, running, spikes. You know that.
I know, right?
What
Oh my
What do you do
goodness.
for fun? Like
I
now.
mean, I really
Okay, don't say now lah. Now everybody has nothing to do for fun,
okay, yeah,
right?
true.
So in general, what do you do for fun?
Like, okay, I'm very normal. I'm very basic. Like I do like I watch Netflix, that gives me a lot of joy.
Right.
Like whenever I can, like that's my way to wind down. Like it's not
Right.
to take a nap, it's to like watch Netflix and
Yeah.
then slowly drift into sleep, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So Netflix gives me a lot of joy. And then I just love like normal hanging out with my friends, like
Any other hidden talents?
cafe hopping. Huh? No way.
Other sports that you probably are actually secretly good at? Or anything?
Not in particular, but I would say I pick up things very quickly.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, okay, not football for sure. I
Right.
cannot do football.
Right.
But like, I really want to do netball at one point.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if I were to train
Yeah.
for it, I think I would be quite good. And
I mean,
Yeah.
obviously utilizing that talent you have, which is
yeah,
right.
yeah. So I mean, I really don't know lah, but I feel
Mobile
like
games.
no,
I
I don't do that. I shop a lot.
Ah,
Online
I see.
shopping.
Okay.
Like clothes, makeup, that kind of thing.
Right.
And yeah,
Netflix is the way to go lah for you.
just very basic things like meeting friends, like meeting a boyfriend, meeting friends.
Yeah.
And
So you have quite I mean, you're not a social recluse lah, right?
yeah. I still try to maintain a
Mm.
sufficient social life.
How long more to go before you graduate?
1 year.
1 year.
Like I'm
one
halfway
sem.
through my
One-
current semester, so like
1.5 sem.
yeah, 1.5 sems.
What does it hold, the future for you?
I mean, I'm still as driven as I was last time in terms of track.
Okay.
So I want to really make sure I can reach my end goal lah, which is I mean, I want to compete at Olympics, that's one.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to medal at the Asian Games as well.
Asian Games.
Asian Games,
Okay.
yeah. So those are my two, like,
So the first one is you want to be at Olympics.
I want to go to Olympics
Alright.
and I want to medal at the Asian Games. So like,
Alright.
I think I'm at a point where this thing is, what I'm doing right now is just my lifestyle. It's just what I do.
Yeah.
And even if I end up working next time, like I will find a way to make it work.
Right.
You know, like
to revolve around the track career.
Yeah, so like, I'll find a way, like, cause it's in me really. Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Obviously, I know I would have to stop one day.
Right.
This can't go on forever. But it's as of right now, I'm still considered young. I
Right.
want to make full use of it.
So you're gonna plan the next few years around the track career.
Yeah.
And then push the boundaries
Yeah,
lah for
I'll
that.
try. I try my best to.
The
Yeah.
qualifying for Tokyo, is it done already?
No. So they kind of restarted the whole thing
Oh,
because
okay.
it got shifted. So
So whoever already qualified need to requalify.
requalify. Yeah.
So you have another
for
shot.
me, like I'm trying to push to the wild card lah because the qualifying standards are quite difficult.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'm heading towards.
How does the qualifying? Sorry, just and I just.
So
wanna
like
know.
officially, there's like a timing they need to meet or something.
Okay.
And then at least just try to hit the timing.
Is
But then in some
PB there?
countries, no.
Okay.
That's why I want to go for the wildcard.
Okay.
Yeah. So for countries that don't have anyone qualifying, they have a wildcard. But then for some countries, let's say like they're all super good, like in the US.
Yeah.
So they don't go by timing; they go by the top 3 in the country.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have their own internal trials,
Mm.
and then the top 3 in those trials.
Oh, so it's not one system for every country.
Yeah, it's different everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then wildcard, you'll be competing with different.
I'll be competing
countries as well.
No. Wildcard is just among Singaporeans.
Oh,
Like other
okay.
Singaporeans.
Oh, so they
competing.
give every country one wildcard kind of thing, is
If
it?
there are no if there
For
are no
athletics
for
only?
athletics only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if nobody
It's per country per sport lah. Yeah.
per country
Say
per
it
sport.
Like that, yeah.
So if let's say nobody in Singapore is going to the Olympics, they give you a wildcard.
For track and field, then there'll be a wildcard
Okay.
for us. Yeah.
Then Singapore Athletics will be the
we'll
one.
find a way. It will create a
decide.
system on
I
deciding
see.
who to go.
I see. Wow. Thank you very much, Shanti. I think we've come to the end of this. It's
Okay.
very, very insightful.
That's great.
Really. So basically, whatever you are doing, trying to achieve with the children's book,
Yes.
I hope to achieve with a more matured audience.
Yes,
hopefully,
okay.
right? And it's Go
More than
Shanti
7
Go.
years old, yeah.
Right. Not Run Shanti Run. It's Go Shanti Go.
Yeah.
Before I end off, anything that you want to say to the audience, any plugs or anything with your IG, with your book or upcoming
Yeah, I
things?
guess like I mentioned earlier, you can follow Go Shanti Go book and my own personal Instagram also at v_Shanti Pereira. And yeah, just follow in my journey and
Right.
the book journey.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We've come to the end of this. I am once again grateful and in awe of your presence right here.
Oh,
but thank you very much, Shanti.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.